Right. If my soundboard was switched on. Hang on. Right. Testing, testing. Can you put a 1 in chat if you can hear me now? I'm just going to find the music that we had on last night, if I can find it. Or yesterday afternoon. Hi, Milo is out the back. And I believe he is probably knocking on my mum's back door. Right. I can't find my Gregorian chant. So looks like we'll be having some beach sounds. Okay. I'm just going into the kitchen to grab some incense because this isn't lit. And that'll give everyone else a chance to come in. Of course you can. Sorry. There's a few different people asked for healing as well. Chris needs some healing. He won't mind me telling you that Chris is in recovery from a few different cancers. And I will let Chris tell you his story himself, because it's not my story to tell of his cancer journey. But anyone who is wanting healing can come in. They're most welcome. Yes, I am downstairs, Auntie Alison. Just give me 2 minutes. I'll just let you listen to the music for a second while I go and get Milo back in. So how has your days been so far? It'll soon turn around, Marlene. I've got every faith in the healing will help turn it around. Right. Today I was at church this morning, and I was literally in the house 10 minutes when when you look at your phone and you think, oh, that's a bargain. It's free. And you think, oh, it's just landed in my lap. So I looked at the local, because I'd looked at the local garden centre advert, free plants. And I knew the church needed some plants for some of the planters that they've been putting out. So I says to my mum, put your shoes on. She says, why? I says, we're going to the garden centre and we're going to get some free plants. I literally filled my boot of my car up with those plants. People were just looking at us as if to say, she's going to take them all. Well, I'd already asked my friend who owns the garden centre if I could take as many as I liked. And she says, oh yeah, go on. Take as many as you like. Especially when I explained what they were for. So she let me take what I wanted. So I came came back to church with a boot full of plants, and I said to Father, if we have lots left and there's no room to put them, plant them up in pots, and then we can sell them at the church fair next week, what's left over. Oh, it was a blessing in disguise. So it saved us, and they do come back year in, year in, year out. So, and they're a bit like me, my namesake, impatience. So, or Busy Lizzie as they used to be called when I was little. So, yeah, he's now on the back of my chair, nibbing out the window. Okay, I'll turn this music down a little bit more. Yeah, I've got a few, and I didn't dare tell Father, but he's got a couple of fairies in his garden. But he'll probably say one of them's me, because he says to me, Mum, I hope you realise your daughter's a star. And then he says, she's the beginning for me life as well. So I don't know whether he means the star twinkles on top, or I absolutely torture him. And she went, well, she's just the beginning of my life as well, so welcome to my world. I said, well, Mum, you wouldn't get round from A to B if it wasn't for me. So A lot of stuff's been getting moved around in the house lately. So I had been wondering what it was. But it was my mother-in-law's birthday yesterday, so I first away from home. And it could have been that little fairy. Because she was only 4'11" when she was on Earth as well, so... Okay. As the incense sufficiently caught on now. I'm not letting it catch fire anymore because we'll have... Milo, that's enough, baby. Because I saw... Because I set these smoke alarms off in the house the other night as well. So... Yeah. And I have put 2 QR codes on. One's for the community group and one's for Milo's treats. But don't tell him that. So they're both tip jars. Right. I'm just going to ring this bell now. Is that someone we've got in from... Hang on. Do we have somebody in from you? No, they're all... We've got 3 in now from YouTube. So, Milo is trying to scratch me sofa. Okay. I ask Archangel Michael, Archangel Metatron, Milo, that's enough, baby. And before I get started, I'm just going to mute the mic and ask Tyrone to come and get somebody. Tyrone? Can you come down and get somebody, please? Can you come and get someone? Okay, I ask Archangel Michael, Archangel Metatron, Archangel Sandalphon, Archangel Mary, Archangel Chamuel, and St. Anthony.
What?
I also ask the spirit of Archangel Raphael to come close this evening and offer us guidance, protection, and amplify their healing powers to give us strength and guidance as we go through this meditative journey along the beach of contemplation and healing. I also ask for our prayers of healing to be answered and healing to be sent to Marlene, Sari, and her husband, to Chris, to Jan, to Viv and Lisa, and all who attend the Good Shepherd Church, and to all who've suffered loss and grief right now, and all who have someone who is missing within their family. May they get the answers that they need and their prayers are answered. As it was in the beginning, as it is now, the world with no end and the world with no beginning. Amen. Milo was running around with a tartan cushion. I don't know how he's managed to fit it in his mouth, but he's managed to fit it in his mouth. Okay, let's begin. I hope you're sitting comfortably, everyone, with your feet on the ground or on your living room floor or wherever you're sitting, whether you're outside. Please don't say you're sitting in your car, because that would be very dangerous unless you pulled up at the side of the road. I want you to take 3 deep cleansing breaths in through your nose and then out gently through your mouth. Two minutes. 2 minutes. That's enough. Dear boy, enough. Okay. I'd like you to visualize a protective white light coming up over your feet and circling around your ankles, up over your legs, your calves, and up around your knees, where it will bounce around for a little while. You may feel a gentle warming sensation. Up, the light moves over your thighs and up to your hips. You will feel it move gently over your tailbone and then up over your torso, up around your throat chakra, down both your arms, and then back up over your head, and up to your crown chakra. You feel grounded and protected right now. Okay, when you're ready, we're going to start walking down the steps of your beachside house. Take the steps very slowly, one step at a time. Then, as you walk down the steps, you walk along the path down towards the gate. From the gate, you open the gate and you walk out of the gate, turn and close it behind you. You walk down the slowly down the bordered path and onto the beach. You stop and you take another 3 deep breaths in through your nose, slowly filling your lungs with this salty sea air. You notice there's a gentle breeze around you. And when you're ready, walk towards the shoreline. You hear the waves gently breaching on the beach as you continue to walk along the beach in your chosen direction. You walk further along the beach. There are children playing. They're just playing and building sandcastles. You acknowledge them and continue walking. You see an elderly couple who are sitting having lunch. You acknowledge them and continue along on your way. You get a little bit further along the beach and there is a little boat. You climb in and you start paddling the boat. You start rowing the boat out to the little island just off the shore. It takes about half an hour to get out there. On that little island, there is lots of birds. You can hear them sing from the distance. Once you reach the island, you get out of the boat and you tie it to a tree. You walk up from the shoreline, following a little pathway. You're listening to the birds singing as you walk. You feel at peace. You're still feeling grounded and protected. You continue walking till you reach the middle of the island. You sit down in the sacred space. You notice on the island, in the sacred space, there are some standing stones. On one of the stones, there seems to be fresh water trickling down. You go over to that water and you cup your hands and you take a sip from the water. It is cold, fresh and refreshing. And you go and sit down in the middle of the standing stone circle. You ask for healing for your family, yourself, and your friends. And you sit and you close your eyes and you meditate for a while. At the end of your meditation, you will hear a bell ring. That will signify the time when you've got to get back up and start walking back to your boat. It's starting to rain, but it's just a cooling, gentle shower. You continue to meditate. You feel at peace, and you start to feel the healing energy pulsating around you. There is no breeze, but you feel your body starting to sway gently as you go deeply into this meditation. Okay, it's now time to walk back to your boat. You walk down the path and you start to walk towards your boat. You walk back and you get into your boat. You untie it from the tree. You turn and look as you're sitting in the boat. You look at the island and remember how at peace and how the sense of well-being you felt while you were on that island. And you start gently rowing back to the shore. With the turn of the tide, you're soon back on the beach from where you came. You pull the boat back up onto the beach. You put the oars back into the boat. And you walk back along the beach, following your footsteps back to your beachside house. The beach is empty now, so you continue walking back to the house. You walk up the bordered path, back up through the gate, closing it behind you as you slowly walk back up the steps. And you sit on the veranda, calmly watching the waves roll back in. And this is where I leave you, sitting looking out to sea. Okay, I'm going to ask you now how you feel. Now you're back in the room. I'm going to ring the bell one more time to signify the end completely. There we are. Seem to have lost a lot of people along the way there. I think that either their internet's going in and out, sorry, or They fell asleep. I'm glad you feel peaceful and light, and you should be able to feel the healing energy coming around you. I know you're a healer yourself, but you should be able to feel that healing energy. And hopefully your husband is now opening up now to the healing energy around him as well. Good, Marlene. I'm glad to hear that you're feeling a little bit more peaceful. I'm leaving all of me energy work now up on YouTube. I'm not going to take it down anymore. And you're welcome. And you may have heard Milo growling at us as well. That's because I took his cushion off him, because he was going to try and rip it up. The tinker. You're very welcome. And anyone else who comes in to watch the replay, please do not take part in any meditations while you're driving your car or operating any machinery, because you could end up crashing or losing a limb, and I don't want to be responsible for that. Right, we're getting the fairy cards out again. Milo's going to do some dusting for us. Right. Solitude. Light. And fairy spotting. There you are, Siri. Right, we have the first one, which is solitude. Okay. Solitude. Think of being alone as meaning that you are all one and in total harmony with everything. The greatest treasures are those who wait silently during your quiet times. So if you were sitting quiet at home and just lost in thoughts, it tends to be that's when your loved ones or any energetic beings are coming closer to you. And just pay mind to that it could be a memory that they want to bring close to you. Light, the fairy queen of light, comes to shed love and light into your current situation and remind you that light can penetrate the darkness, and light is also a good healer as well. So she's also bringing in some healing energy as well. And whenever you're on your own, you can receive your healing that way, or you can receive it when you're out for a walk, or even when you're in a group of people. And this is Sari's card. Definitely Sari's card. And I think the little girl in here, in this card, looks a bit like Sarah Jessica Parker as well. It's time to go fairy spotting. It's said that seeing is believing. But in fact, the opposite is true. Believing is seeing. There we are. That's Sari's card. Unless she was looking for her little friend. There we are. I'll stick her there so she doesn't pinch me cards tonight. Okay. Tomorrow, when I get a little bit of time, I'm going to do the weekly. He's decided he's going to chew me static duster up, so I could kill him. So tomorrow I'm going to, when I get 5 minutes, I am going to sit down and I'm going to do the weekly the weekly tarot scopes. But if you notice, someone else is copying off me as well now, so okie doke. Right, the Ace of Wands. There we are. The Ace of Wands is looking down on creation and looking for inspiration and being passionate. This is from the Celtic Tarot. So that is your archetypical fairy wand. So are you looking for new inspiration in a project? These are the cards of the week for the channel. So if you create a new project and you're looking for the inspiration, maybe it's time to speak to your friends or speak to your family for a little bit of guidance, because they may have the wisdom that you need. Okay, we now have a druid around a rune circle and the most famous druidic circle, Stonehenge. Okay, this is the Three of Pentacles, so the Three of Money. The new project will need a lot of skilled labour, and it says you need to be collaborating with someone for the project to get off the ground and be a success. But you need to be mature about what you're doing. Yes, you as well. And you need to have somebody with experience around that situation to work with you. And then we have the Six of Pentacles. This is the 3-card draw for this week. And Milo, please be quiet, baby. So we have the Three of Pentacles. This depicts a man with a little sprite. I haven't got my wand with me here. There we are. A man with a little sprite there, or a little fairy, with a little girl. And he's got these pentacles there. And she's holding a pentacle as well. And you can see some little houses in the background. They're just well off in the background. So the Six of Pentacles, sorry. We've already done the 3. He's given her a gift. And giving is receiving. Giving and receiving is both. It's a two-way street, basically. And if you want to be materially successful, you've got to give a little back into the cosmos, or give a little back to your community. It's all about community giving right now. And in the present, Milo, that's enough. That's me sofa. Sorry about that, everyone. I've got a dog who's decided he wants to dig up my sofa, and he wants to eat it. That's enough. Oi. So definitely, if anyone's out there thinking about going for that business day or starting up their own business, go for it. But make sure you've got somebody who's experienced in that field to guide you through it. And make sure you're putting the pennies that you're putting into it, you're going to get something back out of it at the end of it. Because if you're not putting your business pennies aside, you're not going to be making a profit by the end of the year. And similarly, if you were not doing your inventory properly, which is an idea of inventory, which I've done for my little tabletop sale at the church. So I know what products we've got and what we need to make more of. That's so we can know what split we're going to have for the sale, basically. If I sell out of everything, it's a two-way split. So I'm going to love yous and leave yous until the next one, and I'll be back tomorrow, possibly with a recorded tarot scope. I'm glad you were here too as well, Marlene. We have missed you. And as I say, I was away for about a week anyway. I'm just going to do a little pendulum. It's just popped into my head. I know the wardens were getting sworn in tonight, but I've got an inkling I know what the vicar's going down to the synod in Liverpool for. But yeah, it's literally vibrating. Is Father Richard going to the synod for an interview to become our permanent priest? North to south for yes, east to west for no. Oh. And as I said that, the sun's shining brightly. Okay, thank you. Will Father Richard be successful at the synod? There we are. I just wanted to do that. Thank you. I will take care of myself. You take very good care of yourself. I know you don't like the advice usually, everyone, but I'm giving you it anyway. Plenty of warm drinks, Marlene. If you can, inhale some peppermint, because that'll keep your lungs free. And drink some peppermint tea as well. That'll help get rid of some of the crap off your lungs. And that came from a priest. So We're now growing peppermint and rosemary and God knows what else in the garden like crazy. So thank you for joining me, and I will see you all on the next one. Night night.